we have a destination we're trying to get to. And fire being a central theme of that is, fire's, one of the basic elements. It's, way back to caveman. It gives you light, it gives you heat, it gives you food. Without fire, mankind would not be nearly as civilized. But also fire as, it can go over into destruction and chaos and rebirth and reawakening, and there's so much pathos attached with fire itself, but the point is an effigy that then goes up in a great, amazing blaze of glory and then is reborn the next year as something different. It just brings people together, really.
It's very difficult to explain what Blazing Swan and Burning Man are unless you actually go. You can read about it on the web, you can talk to people who've been, but until you actually experience it, you don't really understand it. And that is a problem because some people see it as just a big party in the desert, or in our case in the bush. And there is a lot more to it than that.
I guess I wouldn't call it an event. I would call it a pop-up community, a place where everyone can come and contribute and be together and live in a different kind of way to what we're used to.
It's about being yourself and not being afraid to show who you are.
When people come here, they are what they are outside, but everyone stands in their own shoes here. Everyone is what they are. And it's a wonderful place to connect with people.
Sharing, I think, is what you should take away from Blazing Swan. Just the spirit in the atmosphere is that of giving and compassion. And everyone needs more.
The Blazing Swan principles are the same as the Burning Man principles, except that we have added an 11th principle, which is consent. The other 10 have come straight from Burning Man. The 11 principles of Blazing Swan are radical inclusion.
Inclusion! Everyone is welcome at Blazing Swan. We like the young, the old, the short, the tall, the newbies, the four-year blazers. Join in, be included.
Participation! Get involved, be a part of it. This is a beautiful space, so love it and live it. Gifting! It could just be as simple as listening to someone, taking the time for someone to talk to someone. It's a beautiful thing and it costs nothing.
Decommodification!
This is a non-commercial space. There is no buying, selling, trading. It is a gifting community.
Self-expression!
Radical self-expression arises from the unique gifts of the individual.
Self-reliance. Does everyone have enough food and water to last them the week?
Communal effort! This would not happen without the community. So if you can help out, help out.
Civic responsibility. The law still applies in Blazing Swan.
Leave no trace. We like to leave this place better than when we found it.
Immediacy!
Be here now. You're at Blazing Swan. Enjoy yourself, and love others.
What are you most looking forward to seeing? Do you know what's happening?
Well, on Saturday they're going to burn the Swan Tower over there, and on Sunday they're going to burn the temple.
This year our effigy, our swan, was probably getting on for about 12 or more meters high. It probably took about 2 months to build.
It all does go back to Burning Man. Back in 1986, they decided to build a statue, wooden sculpture, take him down to Baker Beach, and they decided to burn him. Just, it was a one-off wooden sculpture. No one cared about it. It wasn't anything big, and they just had fun burning it. And so they're like, let's do this again next year. This was a cool party. And so as the festival has grown, that has remained the central part of Burning Man, is the burning of this giant wooden effigy. We are trying to recreate that feeling of home, that feeling of community here. And by creating that same central art piece, that central figure that the whole festival is invested in, we're hoping to create our own tradition, our own rituals, our own spin on this event.
The Swan burn is just a feat of human achievement, building something because we can and burning it down because it's awesome. And there's something pure and joyful about that too. The effigy reflects the fun of Blazing Swan, and the
temple is the care.
Temple's the care.
Yeah.
People sort of get this vision of a group of mad hippies running around naked and, whatever. And I sort of say, well, I've been coming here for 4 years now. And that's certainly, I don't see myself in that role. But, you do get that chance to do what you like and be who you'd like to be and perhaps do something, that you wouldn't normally do.
People that don't really understand the festival, they hear that there's free stuff, and that's a whole different intent, and the magic and the feeling that you get from just giving and helping and embracing people is so much more beautiful and profound than the magic of I got something for free.
It is what you go for. So if you're just looking to party, you can, but you're not going to get a lot out of the festival, because the whole reason behind the festival is this community, somewhere where you're welcome and you're free to explore and to find yourself and to participate in society in a different way that you would normally participate. You can go out any weekend, go to a club, drink, have fun. At Blazing Swan, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get people not to ask what they can get out of the event, but what they can give to the event. So the people who come just to take are not pillars of the community. They don't understand, they don't get what it's about. If we can just get more and more people to understand that feeling of home, that feeling of complete freedom and acceptance and being exactly where you need to be at that point, the fewer and fewer people will get coming down thinking it's just a crazy party, and the more participants we'll get, the more people who want to give of themselves and make the event even better.
We burn things as a release, particularly in the case of the temple, we all sit around campfires watching fires burn and sort of talk about stuff and think about stuff. And I think burning effigies and burning the temple is just the same thing on a much bigger scale.
Yeah, the temple's more spiritually and emotionally significant for people. It has a lot of silence and a lot of solemn reflection associated with it.
You write stuff on the temple, and then when you burn it, all the stuff that you wrote on it becomes true.
Obviously people have written on the temple, they've written messages to loved ones and family members and people they may have lost touch with, and burning the temple is definitely in that case a form of release. And in the same way that, you know, if you break up with your boyfriend, you might throw all of their stuff into a bonfire. You sort of put all of that stuff on the temple and then just watch it burn.
We're quite disconnected as human beings in the society we're living in now. So even though we're living in huge cities with mass populations, everyone feels like they're alone and disconnected because we're just walking past each other, we're not saying hello, we're not actually becoming a community or a tribe. Blazing Swan reminds you what it's like as a human being to have other human beings and realise that you're actually in it together and you're not alone, and that human beings actually care about each other.
Allow yourself to be whoever you want to be, and trust that you'll be accepted and loved for it. It's just something that we need, and people sort of fundamentally sense that. There's a lot of magic here.